Hey everybody, it's me, Crazy Frankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 2 picks. We had quite a good opening week in the National Football League last week. Obviously, we saw some tremendous games, a lot of surprises, and obviously, I think the best thing about Week 1 was obviously the kickoff return touchdowns we saw in a lot of games. Well, I already wrote my week one recap on my blog, so pretty much that explains everything that happened and my thoughts and opinions on week 1 anyway. So other than that, I just want to get straight to my week 2 picks. Obviously, like I did in my last video, I'm only going to pick four key games that I think that will satisfy your hunger for this week. And before I get into my picks, I need to make a correction on one of my video from last week. As I stated in all the little bubble comments I put on my last video regarding the AFC South, obviously Peyton Manning's neck injury is going to be out for a much longer period, and by the looks of it, I don't see the Indianapolis Colts winning that division anymore now. Obviously, from the first game I saw them against the Texans, obviously without Peyton Manning on that team, their offense sucks. Anyways, let's talk about week 2, shall we? Now, obviously, my four key games for week number 2, let's start. My first one is the Chicago Bears against the New Orleans Saints. Now, obviously, the Saints last week, what a heartbreaking loss they had as they got stopped at the goal line against the Packers in their first game. So, obviously, they're at home this week. They're going to be hosting the Chicago Bears. The Bears coming off of an impressive defensive performance last week against the Falcons. Obviously, the defense won the game for them. Let's see how the Chicago Bear defense fares against a very good Saints offense. And it should be a very close game here, but I think the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. They're going to bounce back. They're going to get their first win of the season, and they'll beat the Chicago Bears. Game number 2. This should be an interesting one here because this is the Eagles-Falcons game, the Sunday night game. Now, Michael Vick is going to be returning for the first time in Atlanta, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of ovation he'll get from the Atlanta Falcon fans because Michael Vick had played with the Falcons for about, I think, 5-6 years. Obviously, with the trouble he got into, basically he ended his time with Atlanta. Let's see what happens when the homecoming. I don't know if he's going to get cheered or booed, but my guess is it'll be definitely a mixed reaction. He'll definitely get some cheers. He'll definitely get some boos, obviously from the people who are dog lovers, obviously. But going into the game itself, the Falcons desperately need a win here. They need a win badly because they don't want to fall 0-2, and if anybody else in the NFC South picks up wins, the Falcons might go pretty behind. And obviously, after the excellent year they had in 2010, they don't really want to start off badly here. So, obviously, it's going to be a very close. This is another close game here, one of my 50-50 picks here. But I still think that the Eagles' offense is a tad better, and I got to go with the Eagles in this game. So it's going to be Eagles over the Falcons. Game number 3. This is one's a personal one to me, obviously. It is the San Diego Chargers against the New England Patriots. Now, obviously, the Chargers are dealing with injuries right now. They lost Luis Castillo to injury, and of course, they lost their kicker, Nate Kading, for the rest of the year. This will be interesting to see what the Chargers will do. Obviously, they're huge underdogs in this game, and really, after seeing the New England Patriots just embarrass the Miami Dolphins last week, I don't really give the Chargers much of a chance, and I'm a big San Diego Chargers fan. So obviously, pretty much everyone, I think you all know where I'm going to go with here. I got to go with the Patriots over the Chargers, even though I don't want to say this. I really don't, because I hope I am wrong on this pick, because I love the Chargers and I want them to upset the Patriots, but it just doesn't seem unlikely. Patriots offense is just way too strong. The Chargers are banged up defensively, and I got to go with the Patriots in this one. I hate to say it. Patriots over the Chargers here. And my 4 key game here, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Washington Redskins. Now, the Redskins last week, I got to give Rex Grossman, maybe just for one game, that he was lucky not to turn over the ball, because I usually call him Rex Turnover Grossman. And with his time with the Bears, you know he's had some great games and he had some awful games. But in this case, let's see in this game if he can go another game without turning the ball over, which I'm not certain about that, because I still think he's still the same Rex Grossman. Now, the Cardinals were lucky last week to escape with a win over the Carolina Panthers. I got to give Cam Newton credit in that game. He played exceptionally well. But then again, they were playing the Cardinals, and in all honesty, the Cardinals' defense is not that good. So in this game, I expect a shootout here. We might see maybe up to 40-50 points here total from both teams. So, example, it would not surprise me if the game ended up being like 34-31, for example. But obviously, I expect a close game. This is another close game here. I expect the Cardinals to come out and play much better. Kelvin Cobb did a great job last week, and I think that the Cardinals have found their quarterback. As far as the Redskins standpoint and all that, they had a great win against the Giants last week. Let's see if they can win again in week number 2. Now, this here is going to be an upset pick here. I'm going to gamble here on this one, and I'm going to say the Cardinals win. I think the Cardinals, after seeing last week and Kelvin Cobb playing pretty good, I mean, Kelvin Cobb was a backup for the Eagles during the times when Donovan McNabb was still there, so pretty much he knows the Washington Redskins and how they play. So I kind of could give an advantage a little bit to the Arizona Cardinals here. So I'm going to say as my upset pick for week number 2, I'm going to go with the Cardinals here. The Cardinals over the Redskins. Okay, folks, those are my 4 key games here. And obviously, go to my blog at crazyfrankie56.blogspot.com for all of my week 2 picks. And I thank you for watching this video, and enjoy week 2, everybody. See you later.